Okay, congratulations. You have now reached the point at which most Modeling 1 students go running, kicking, screaming out of the classroom. So don't be afraid. I'll walk you through it. What we're going to do is start joining objects and talk about topology. Okay, topology. Topology is a simple flow of polygons across any one mesh. One mesh being the ideal term here, we have many meshes here. You can get this file, Unit 4 Start, in my area I deemed where I put lesson files on YouTube. You could look at the show notes. In the classroom, I just give it to you in the zip form. We're going to start joining these shapes together. Now, I would start out with a simple object like this before you even contemplate putting together some very difficult character. Okay, practice makes perfect. Alright, some beginning math 101. Alright, we'll look at this. We have some faces here, and we have some faces here. We're going to join these two shapes together, make them into one part. To do so, first off, let's go to wireframe 1 on a keyboard so I can get into the absolute side of things. And I'm going to go into edit mode on this one. Choose faces and use Control right click to lasso some faces and delete them. Delete faces. Let's go back into solid. He said math. There's edges here. I have 8 edges. Okay. If you take 8 and divide it by 4, or divide it by 2, you get 4. So that means if I destroy 4 faces, I'll have 8 edges. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So 4 faces yield 8 edges. Alright, let's do this. First off, I'm going to take this edge loop here and bring it down. To do so, grab it, object mode, go to sculpt, Y symmetries on, and I'm just going to move these down. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of feather these in. There we go. Let's go into edit mode and destroy these 4 faces. Okay, let's take object 1 in object mode and put it near object 2. And usually what I like to do is see the overall design of things. About right there is what I want. Then I'll try to center it. And then I'll take this one, select it, hold shift, click on this one. And if you go into edit mode on the first one, choose snap, choose face, choose active. Okay. Alright, now what that means is if I have this one highlighted, this one becomes active. I hold shift, I get this one highlighted and go into edit mode. Tab on the keyboard. Notice the other one stays lit. This is set to snap on active. So I can take a point, vertex, and look at that, it snaps right to it. Now I can kind of position these so I can get a heads up on how they're going to work. Does this work in sculpt mode? You know, that's a good question. I never tried. No, it does not work in sculpt mode. Oh well. But sculpt mode allows you to get pretty close, you know, depending on if you want to snap or if you just want to manually move these points. Either way works. It does not matter to me which you use. If you're going to use sculpt mode, you're going to be rotating a couple more times. And not worry too much about symmetry because it's going to get broken and I'll have to put it back together. Alright, not bad. Okay, let's look at this form. And we'll join that to the actual object here in a second. First off, I like to kind of align all my forms up. Okay, a little bit more of a math problem here. And I'm looking at something here. I'm looking for the extraordinary vertice. And the extraordinary vertice houses 3 edges. Okay. Usually if you see a normal vertice, it'll house 4 edges. So right there is my extraordinary vertice. All others, 4. Now, if I know where that extraordinary vertice is, I'm going to follow it down and look for the counter extraordinary vertice, which is right here. Let me trim some away to kind of show you what I'm looking at. Whoops. Okay, this section contains extraordinary vertice to extraordinary vertice to extraordinary vertice to extraordinary vertice. These are what I want to destroy. X on the keyboard to delete faces. Okay, let's look at this one. Same dealio. Since these two meshes are of equal standards as far as resolution goes, by deleting faces on this side and deleting faces on this side, they will equal each other out. Now, which goes where? Well, that's another good question. Again, one on the keyboard, get it to the point where it looks where you want it, and then decide which shape you're going to blend into what. And again, you can either use snap or sculpt. I think I'm just going to sculpt it because it's just easier for me. And I usually start like this. Pull out the one point. Go back to object mode. Whoops. And then align that to that point. Now I know I have center. Then go back to the other object and sculpt. With that one taken care of, I now know that this one connects here. These two connect here. These two connect here. Now I'll go on the bottom one. Okay, start that process. I would make your brush a little bit smaller so you're only grabbing one point at a time. Again, you only have to get it pseudo close. You don't have to get it right dead on. When you snap these or when you join these together via vertice, they will automatically go together pretty good. So there we go. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to join them together.